And we're live.
Woo woo! God, I love that intro.
Thank you. I'm really proud of putting it together.
It's so
And
fun.
no
It's cute.
AI was used.
None. We don't need that here.
We don't. I did have to sign up for Canva Pro, though.
You know what? Sometimes we do what we gotta do.
It's true. It's true. I no longer have access to the Adobe Creative Suite because Michael Andelson changed schools.
No.
Welcome, friends, to a very special episode of Improv Technology. Tonight is an interview episode, which means we get to know the other person on this screen so much better, hopefully, than we already do. So allow me to introduce to you actor, director, writer, gamer, youth group Christian rap artist, and technically currently homeless, Robin Fertitta.
Oh, when I said I don't have to worry about anything, you talk whatever you want. I'm an open book. I wasn't expecting you to go swinging out the gate.
Look, I promise people getting to know you better, and
Hey.
it is a fact that I cherish knowing.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, Robin, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. Oh, God. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I had a short day at work today where I got to hang out with a photography class that wanted to use some of our living collections as like macro photography specimens. So I just got to talk about our animals and watch people photograph them for 2 hours.
That is sick. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
God, I love that so much. Yeah, no, my day was pretty easy. I complimented Nick for taking care of himself today.
Mhm.
And I we worked, Who's Jest and the new was starting to prep for the Halloween disaster piece, as well as finally last weekend we didn't have Jeff or Angel in because Jeff was sick and Angel was filling in for Gia.
Oh yeah,
So
I
she was
heard about
doing all of the fight shows. So it was like, yeah,
Wow.
dude, take it easy. Don't do I know improv, it can be easy and all that stuff, but like
Mhm.
take Gia's like actor tracker and take those breaks then and don't come to here. Like take that space. So this weekend we get to actually slot them into DisasterCon, which is very exciting because a number of the scripts were written specifically for those two characters, and Joe and
Uh-huh.
we had a good time stepping in, but like sitting back and seeing how both Jeff and Angel just like brought those characters to life instantly. It was like, yeah, no, this is gonna hit now. It was okay then
Mm.
because of us, but it's gonna hit now. So
That those are some of the best moments when, like, as a director, you have to step in because it's your job, but then the actor that it was intended for goes in, and it's like, this is why we casted them. This is why
uh-huh.
casting matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was beautiful.
What are there any like sketches from DisasterCon that you think I would have particularly enjoyed?
Oh, well, so we have one coming up this weekend that I won't like fully spoil, but
Mhm.
it is Good Edith, um, in reference to Goodfellas. Uh, and I think you would really enjoy that one. Um,
Nice.
one of the ones I think you might actually rather enjoy it. Finding Zeus. It's not Finding Nemo.
Mhm.
Uh, it is a like America's Got Talent style Zeus. Like Zeus is looking to retire and is looking for a replacement. And
Mhm.
I'm saying it a little bit more this time because it was something that happened last week that Joe and I filled in for, with Joe being Zeus and me being Hera as two of the three
Oh.
judges. And that
Mhm.
was Jeff as Zeus and Angel as Hera. So they're coming in, and
That's gonna be good.
yeah, it's pretty solid.
Are
It's
are there any DisasterCon sketches that went up that you guys were like, oh man, Jeff would have never let us get away with this one. I'm so glad that we're able to do this.
you know, I don't think so.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Joe and I are going too hog wild on that. We're pretty good at like trying to rein things in.
Hmm.
Um there are definitely a couple of sketches that, the actor and not director in me went, we got to put this up. But the director in me is like, there's no way this will translate. I'm so sorry, Alex. We can't do James and the Giant Worm, where every single insect is a worm and the peach is also a worm.
Hmm.
And then it becomes Dune and it's just all worms. I love this as a concept because it's ridiculous, but
Hmm.
you got to refine it. And
Okay, but there's something to James and the Giant Peach, but it is Paul Atreides trying to get home on a sandworm.
now I kept saying that. I
Hmm.
kept saying that absolutely. Uh I was like, Alex, this is the nugget in there. You gotta go for it. And she never did. So when it came time for DisasterCon, she just pitched it exactly the same. And it was like, I'm so sorry. We gotta, but it's a good one. She should definitely keep that in her book and
Hmm.
fucking figure out a way to do it. It's
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. All right. Well, Robin, are you ready to get this interview started formally?
absolutely.
Great. Then, starting things off, Robin, who is the best Star Trek captain?
Oh gosh, you know what? Hmm. I was gonna say Michael Burnham for a hot second, but I don't think we got enough time with her as a captain to actually
Mm,
like get that because
that's
she
very true.
really
But
only becomes. Oh, go ahead.
she is the only captain that we get to see their arc to
This is
getting
true,
to captain.
and I think that arc is absolutely beautiful. Um, honestly, I right now I am really feeling Pike as a great captain.
Hmm.
Uh, don't get me wrong, Picard is fantastic, and I think I said last show that I'm rewatching Next Generation. So like I'm getting a lot of Picard right now.
Hmm.
Um
What, you mean you didn't get enough Picard when you and I watched season one of Picard?
I didn't. I got to be honest. I didn't get enough Picard because there was too much incest in there.
Spoilers
uh
for season one of Picard. There is a weird bit of Romulan incest.
it like isn't really plot relevant and it's just kind of there to make you go, "Oh, those are the bad guys."
Hmm.
Which they're already doing enough bad guy stuff, so it's like we didn't need to add this in. Um It was just an actor choice that probably is what, like, in all fairness, is probably what got that actor the role.
Oh yeah, strong choice.
Strong choice in the audition room, and they went, "Oh, this disgusts us. We need to hire this person." Uh, but for the audience, it goes, "Why is this here?"
Hmm. Hmm.
um,
Okay, so why Pike?
well, I feel like there is something now. Some of it could just be said in the performance, right? Like, I forget the actor's name, but he just like
Anson Mount.
Anson Mount just brings this like real warm dad energy to it
Hmm.
that is really comforting and inspiring. And so far he has really fulfilled this like space of somebody constantly trying to do their best, and being hyper aware of his crew's emotional state.
Hmm.
I feel like in a lot of senses, Picard could get away with not really paying attention to it, because he had Diana to kind of like
Hmm.
do that for him to be like, hey, your crew's acting weird. Um, and he'd have to be like, oh, you're right. And occasionally, like if it was like a bad guy that was like taking the place of a character, he'd be like, there's something weird here. But like
Hmm.
when it's just like oh, my pilot is having an off day. I'm just gonna go like talk to him. And it's like there's this just like sense of camaraderie in the leadership of, hey, I'm your leader, but that doesn't mean, and like technically through the ranks, I'm in charge, but it's more that I help call the shots
Mm-hmm.
and not I'm above you in rank and station and file. It's I'm only as good as literally everybody else around me. And I really do feel that Pike is constantly bringing that to the surface and lifting everybody up to his level,
Mm-hmm.
um, rather than like strengthening the chains that go all the way down. He's like, no, let's build a platform and put you up here.
Hmm. This is I would be interested because something that I also have noticed about Pike is that I feel like he asks the crew for options. Like, what are our
Mm.
options? Is a very
Mhm.
common phrase on Strange New Worlds. And I would be interested to see like if anyone has charted the number of times captains like ask the crew for input.
That's an interesting point. Yeah. Going back right now, like Pike is or Picard is definitely like he asks Data a lot of just like what does that mean? But that's like more like encyclopedia things and not like how do we problem solve?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. I bet there's somebody out there.
Mm-hmm. There's so many nerds out there.
Yeah, totally.
But if we put an ask out on Reddit, someone's got to have an answer.
Absolutely they will. They totally will. I bet there's somebody that has logged all of that. Still need to see new season of Strange New Worlds.
I watched the first 3 episodes. I got to the Reese Davies episode, or Reese Darby episode before my subscription ran out when I canceled Paramount Plus for canceling Colbert. And they
Yeah.
didn't take it back like Disney, so I couldn't restart the subscription.
Mm.
Um, but congratulations, you have made Debbie reconsider. Uh, Pike was number 2 for Debbie going into this, and now you've moved Pike into a tie with Picard.
Wow. Well, that's big. I'll take
Mhm.
that. Awesome.
So well done, well
Oh,
done.
thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's okay. Now I also know, Robin, that you are a Godzilla aficionado. Um,
Okay, I'll take it. I feel like that's a little like grandiose, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
was it Godzilla fan?
Yeah, yeah.
Godzilla is one of the things that you have many strong opinions on.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What is your opinion of the 1998 Matthew Broderick Hank Azaria Godzilla movie?
I knew you were gonna say it. My opinion first off is I need to rewatch it. It's been far too long. Um, I I remember watching it as a kid and rather enjoying it and feeling all of the sympathy towards this creature. And I would want to rewatch it again to see how well that continues to hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was something that I really enjoyed about it. Um, some of the action sequences are a little silly. Um, and some of the moments just like visually don't hold up very well, and even back then felt a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
But I do hold a soft spot. I think it was the first Godzilla movie I ever saw.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I don't know. I there's a lot of interesting moments about it that I think deserve a second chance. It's a very, very campy movie. Um, I think the biggest thing that they just did wrong and that it just made it so hard to be a redeemable film is they put themselves on the back foot by changing the design so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they made it so much to where when Toho bought it, the rights to that movie, they said that's not Godzilla. We're officially renaming it. That thing is Zilla. And that's not there is no god to it. It's just Zilla.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, okay. So there's lore to this. So
Mhm.
so it comes out, it's a flop, right? People don't like it. And yeah, so Toho Company buys the rights to that movie so that America can never make a sequel. And they name it Zilla and being like, that's not Godzilla. And the only time it reappears, besides that, the animated American cartoon,
Mhm.
the only time it reappears is in Godzilla Final Wars, which is like a 50th anniversary or something of Godzilla. And he has to fight literally every monster that he's fought in the entirety of the franchise.
Mhm.
Uh, and like aliens just like grab all of them and they just start like one at a time, just chunking them at Godzilla for him to fight. And
Mhm.
like they get harder and harder and harder and all sorts of stuff. And one of them is Zilla. Zilla gets beamed down from the by the aliens onto Sydney, Australia. And Zilla's kind of like making a rampage. And basically Godzilla comes up, punches it once, kills it immediately, and then we get a shot of the aliens like cursing the heavens, going, "Oh, that blasted lizard is good for nothing." Like it was it's that hated.
Wow.
Yeah. Um I think the rap is terrible for the credit sequence.
Mhm.
I don't we shouldn't get that. Having watched it so much as a kid, just revisiting it in my mind, I have a craving for, I'm pretty sure it was the Eminem bites that the mayor was constantly like habitually like eating.
That was peak, like, mini M&Ms in the cylinder era.
Yeah, and he just
Mhm.
constantly pop them.
Mhm.
I bet in an older draft it was pills, and it was like, no, we're changing this to be for kids.
Got the PG rating
Yeah, yeah.
and product placement.
Hmm. I mean,
That's good.
you got a crazy cast. Leon the Professional's in there. Like, like what?
Mhm.
And he does a crazy Elvis impersonation. It's it's so funny. It's a blockbuster film. It's a good one. I would say I like it better, even having not rewatched it in so long. I would say I like it better than King of Monsters. Um,
Hey.
and honestly, even Godzilla versus Kong, like the new legendary stuff, not the 2014 Godzilla namesake on its own, but all
Mhm.
of the other legendaries, King of Monsters, Godzilla versus Kong. I think those are bad. I think those are worse than the 97, 98 movie.
Wow. A mighty assertion. So, what to you makes Godzilla such a compelling character?
I think I think one of the things is that he, like most things that make a good like most things that make like the greats, is that he is an allegory. He's a really good stand-in. As he is a natural disaster, nature incarnate is something that's just so um engaging and appealing. Uh when you give a face to something that is so faceless
Mhm.
as nature, it can become much more sympathetic, and it's a lot easier to go, okay, our actions have consequences because this personification is giving the consequences. It's a lot harder to go, oh, this hurricane that doesn't have a mind of its own is our fault. Whereas like Godzilla can come in and destroy your power plant because it was poisoning a river. Um, and you could be like, oh, because we made this power plant, Godzilla came in.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just like the fact that it is also a character that doesn't speak, um, allows it to kind of flex and bend as to what it can stand for, right? With like the 2016 Shin Godzilla was more about like um it was standing in for just like natural disasters and government's ineffectualness in specifically Japan's government being very ineffectual in how to respond quickly to things. And then like Godzilla -1, we're going back to like the power of the atomic bomb and like using that to talk about survivor's guilt and PTSD. Yeah, you just have a tidal wave of force that is really easy to kind of like tell very personal stories through.
Okay. So if you had to recommend 3 Godzilla movies so that someone like gets this character,
Okay.
what are your 3 Godzilla movies that you recommend?
Godzilla -1, Shin Godzilla. Oh, and then number 3. Number 3 is tough. It's tough to recommend the 2014 Legendary Godzilla just because there's so little of him in there.
Mhm.
So I don't think I would, as much as I'd want to. I mean, hell, I might just recommend Godzilla Final Wars. So it's like you get like Godzilla -1 remake of the OG, right? It is atomic bomb, survivor's guilt, all of that, right? And I already said what Shin Godzilla is. And
Mhm.
then Godzilla Final Wars is just kind of like a love letter. So it's like if you liked those two and want to see like what other aspects that Godzilla has been over the years, because first he was a walking disaster, and then he was like a defender of Earth, and then he was
Mhm.
like a defender of humanity kind of, and then he was just like a dancing guy, and then he was like a dad. Like you get little bits and pieces of that in Godzilla Final Wars. So like as you watch that, you could go, oh, I really liked this aspect, and then you could go follow that route.
Mhm.
I think would be my recommendations.
Nice. Well, you heard it
Yeah.
here, folks. If you haven't already gotten into Godzilla, now you know your entry points.
There you go.
Uh, so, thinking about all of that,
Hmm.
who wins in a fight? Rexy from Jurassic Park, Godzilla, and the Xenomorph Queen.
Okay, so we're taking into it an idea that they'd probably all be scaled to the same size, I imagine.
That's true. Godzilla has changed sizes a few times.
Even at his shortest, he's like
Proportionally.
50 meters tall. like, like he'd decimate the two of them with his foot. Um, so to scale them up. I'm sorry, Rexy just can't win.
Mhm.
Um, we're trying to mascot that T-Rex way too hard. Just
See, I
let her
put them all
die.
against each other because they have all been mothers protecting their children at some point.
And you know what? That's very true. That is extremely true. Um, I feel like Rexy would probably be, if not the first one out, would not be the focus of the other two.
Mhm.
Uh, Rexy would not win, as much as I love Jurassic Park. Um, Godzilla and the Xenomorph Queen are just a little bit too smart. They're a
Mm.
little bit too cognizant of things. I mean, the Queen, she knows how to use an elevator. Um, like you know what an elevator is. You
That's fair.
kinda you're at an intelligence level higher, so it's like if she's given her stuff, I think she might give Godzilla a run for his money. I still think that Godzilla might win, but it
Alright.
depends on how much time the Xenomorph Queen would have to set up. Because if the Xenomorph Queen knows what's coming, she can like prep and she could probably set some pretty nasty traps.
Mm.
Um, and it would just kind of depend on how angry you would get Godzilla uh, before she found a way to like disable him.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, Al brings up a good point. Are they just fighting or are they protecting their kids? So, I'm gonna do a part 2 to this question.
Okay.
This fight has occurred because some sort of governmental organization has captured all of their kids and is holding them
Hmm.
hostage. How long until they all decide to team up? Or is there one of them that you don't think would team up with the others?
Oh, they would definitely all team up. If it's their kids, especially if we're going in Jurassic World, Cuckoo La La Land, where the dinosaurs can speak languages across to each other. We've already seen the xenomorph queen being able to do that with her children.
Mhm.
They would fight for a little bit. They'd cause some chaos, but at a certain point, the xenomorph queen would probably calm Godzilla and Rexy down to the point to where they would be able to then turn it around. It would take a little bit, but none of the three would sustain like huge major injuries that would get them killed.
Mhm. But you think that
That's my
the xenomorph queen would be the crux of uniting them?
Yeah, again, because she's a schemer, right? Like
Mhm.
Godzilla is a rage machine, and depending on the version that you want, is just gonna like fight anything that's in front of it. Um, and is technically a T-Rex. It's not a T-Rex. But in the lore, it's a T-Rex, and I hate it. And then of course Rexy with that bond, they'd get
Mhm.
together a little bit. Um, and then the queen would find a way to kind of like settle them down.
Mhm. All right.
You're asking
Take
the hard questions.
Look, I told you that everyone would get to know you better. I just didn't say that it was mostly through pop culture related questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we are going to take a little bit of a break from pop culture because I do want to talk to you about you have a reputation, and I think a well-earned one, as a really good cook.
Oh.
What to you is kind of key to a really good meal?
Oh, that's a great question. And first instinct to say is love. Second instinct is to say salt. um no, I think one of the things that makes a good meal is cooking for someone you love. Because if it's for someone you love, then you're taking into account like what they need and what they want out of it. You're adding your memories to it, right? Like whether it's a dish that you're making for the first time and ends up being a hit, and then you make it 10 more times, and then now you just have these stored up memories of these being a success, or it's something that brings you back to your childhood of something that you always ate that made you feel better or something like that. I think kind of, like that easy answer of like it's love and salt. Please salt your food. See, don't be afraid of the seasoning. The seasoning is so worth it.
Mhm.
Um oh god, I was going to say something else. I don't remember. Oh yeah, like once you've learned how to cook, once you've got basic skills, start letting your heart guide you. Do the Italian thing. Measure with your eyeballs when it comes to seasoning. Because once you can start riffing, once you know the basics and you can start riffing, then your food is going to reach a different level because you know what you like and you know how to add that to whatever you're making. That's what
Solid.
I'd say.
Solid.
Yeah.
is is there a thing that you yourself enjoy cooking the most?
Um, yes, and I haven't been able to make it since I left Texas. So
Oh.
2019, I have not made it because I don't have the recipe, and it is heartbreaking for me. Um, I think my favorite thing to cook is my family's Christmas meal, which is a series of a bunch of different things. It's a spaghetti and meatball where the sauce and is being cooked for an entire day, uh, and the meatballs are this big. I'm Sicilian, by the way, which would explain the big meatballs. Uh, um, and we would have like a nice like olive mix of, I don't even know what to call it, but just like a garnish of olives on the side with our own family recipe Italian sausage, which you
Ooh.
can actually buy at, I think it's still called the Fertitta Family Store. I'm pretty sure it's in Beaumont, Texas. Um, we don't have any Fertittas that own it anymore. The last Fertitta sold it off to effectively his protege, but we
Mhm.
still have the recipe, right? And we make it ourselves. Um, and so that stuff's amazing.
Mhm.
Some nice garlic bread and the creme de la creme, the absolute piece de resistance is called a bruche latini, which is a unique dish to my family. Um, I can never remember the name of the dish that it's based off of because it is based off a dish, and I had to figure, excuse me, I had to figure that out because I looked it up because I was like, please, I just need this again.
Mhm.
Um, where it is a specific cut of meat that I can't remember,
Mhm.
uh, tenderized to paper thin. You put in some stuffing in there, you roll that, you bread it, and you're making like small little like finger-sized logs. And you make
Mhm.
4 of them, you put them on a stick, you bread it, you season it a little bit more, and then you bake it, buttering it with buttering it, smothering it with olive oil, and a little bit of butter, and it is just divine. It melts
Ooh.
in your mouth. And that cooking process for all of those things takes a week. It is a full week's journey of cooking, of just prep, because you're getting that. We're tenderizing the meat.
Mhm.
We're doing all of those prep works. We're stuffing the jalapenos,
Mhm.
each day. And I mean, just my favorite type of cooking, because we would take the dining table into the living room and the
Mhm.
chairs. We'd set down the cover, and we'd put up all these Christmas movies and just kind of like as a family, just it holds a special place.
Mhm. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Think your brother can steal some of those recipes for you.
Well, so the thing that I've been trying to do is bug my dad because he's been planning. I keep every single year, and I kid you
Mhm.
not, every single year I go, "Hey, Dad, when am I going to get those recipes? Because I need them. I need them." And he's like, "Yeah, no, I'll get them." In fact, and I think this is the problem, he's planning a big thing of it and like
Mhm.
making a book out of it and just kind of like copying that and sending that out to all of our family as we start to spread out from Texas.
Mhm.
Um, but that's a bigger project
Mhm.
than just going, yeah, click, here's the recipe.
Mhm.
I just want that part first.
That's what my mom did with any recipe that I would ask her for. Is she would just open up her little like Rolodex notebook of recipes that she's collected over the years, take a picture, email it to me, and then I'd have to transcribe it.
It's just that easy.
It is.
It's just that easy. It isn't always.
Mhm.
My great grandmother, her sugar cookie recipe, um, which she calls sugar cookies, but they're not like other sugar cookies at all. They're thin and crispy and flaky.
They're
Um,
pick me cookies. I'm not like other sugar cookies.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're Taylor Swift cookies. No, actually, they're incredible cookies. But
Mhm.
she did not. She was very strict. Like she would make them and we would help, but she
Mhm.
wouldn't give us the recipe for years.
Oh.
And then my mother eventually convinced her to give my immediate family the recipe because we were the ones most dedicated to help with the cookies.
Mhm.
And she very begrudgingly did that, and then we had to very begrudgingly get another copy of that so we could like send it to select family members as like a gift.
Oh.
Um, yeah, holding on to those recipes tight. Nah, send them out. Let people enjoy them.
Mhm. Food is meant to be shared, even the
Yeah,
recipes.
yeah.
So one of the things that I was going to ask you, is there anything you really miss about Texas? Is that like holiday tradition of making that one of the biggest things, or like is there anything else that you really miss about Texas?
I would definitely say that's like number one.
Mhm.
Um, the thing that I miss about Texas, like the holidays and just seeing family. Um, it totally sucks that I don't feel comfortable at all going down there to see them. It's been years. I just missed two of my grandparents' 80th birthdays because
Mhm.
I was just like, I can't. And as they get older in age, they can't come up to see me.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that is the toughest part. As much as I also have to keep them at an arm's distance,
Mhm.
um, just because I know where they lean, and
Mhm.
it is in favor of me being described as a terrorist. Um, but on the lighter note of other things that I miss about Texas, I would say Whataburger. I definitely miss Whataburger.
Mhm.
The Chicago company that bought it from the family. What the hell are you doing? You get it out of Texas. Why didn't you ever, in the few years that I was in Chicago, you never brought it? I never heard a fucking peep about it coming to
Mhm.
Chicago. If that happened, maybe I would be moving to Chicago. Like,
So that's how we get Robin back.
like I miss Whataburger. I miss feeling my arteries clog from eating half of the burger and then continuing to eat the other half and not regretting it a bit.
Mhm.
like that feeling that you get when you enjoy a good Five Guys burger and you're like, "Oh, this is good," and it's the worst thing possible for you.
Mhm.
Well, dial the worst thing possible for you feeling back a couple notches, and that's Whataburger. It's so good. I miss I miss that. I miss Tex-Mex.
Mhm.
A lot of it is the food that I miss. Just yeah, because like the food is where a lot of my memories are tied to.
Mhm.
Um, which is why up here, shout out to Tacos El Gordo. Anybody who's in the area, I highly recommend, if you have any curiosity as to what Tex-Mex tastes like, go to Tacos El Gordo. It's owned and operated by a man from El Paso. I said that
Mm.
terribly. From El Paso. Um, and I went with a stage manager who was also from Texas a couple of years back, and we just sat there and like like we almost cried. And that's how we figured out that the dude was from El Paso, because he came out because we were just constantly talking about Texas so much. He was like, "You guys from Texas?" And we were like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm from El Paso." And we were like, "Oh shit, that's why it's so authentic." And authentic Tex-Mex size.
Mhm.
A lot of Mexican joints that you're getting here are Tex-Mex, even though they
Mhm.
don't label it as Tex-Mex.
Mhm.
Um, but they're much smaller in size proportion. Go there, you will be full. If you have a stomach like mine has shrunk to, you will get seconds. It'll be great.
Where is Tacos El Gordo?
I think there's two locations. I think it's Lancaster.
Okay.
One is a food truck, and then the other is an actual store location. But I'm pretty sure it's in like downtown Lancaster. If not, it's Lidditz. Problem with not having a car around here is that I don't have to worry about those things. I just go, "Hey, someone take me to Tacos El Gordo," and then I can sit and go, pretty sights," and I don't pay attention to where it is.
You just get the passenger princess your way there.
I only get to do it so often, so I'll take it when I can. Here, I'm gonna look it up. Totally wrong on both fronts. It's Ephrata.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah. So it's right on that main street, I'm pretty sure, of Ephrata. Um,
Oh, Al says it's right across from Three Sisters Thai.
yes, it is.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That is
Um,
a very good Thai place.
it is a very good Thai place. Also recommend it.
Hmm.
Um, that was one of Al and I's early dates. I
Oh.
remember because I think I either asked you or I asked Jules. I was like, "Hey, what's that Thai place? Because Al really likes Thai, and I want to make sure that I give him a really good time, uh,
Oh,
and get them some good Thai around here. Let's go.
that's
I
awesome.
think it was you, Jeff. I think I asked you. So thank you for that.
Probably.
Yeah.
If he ended up at Three Sisters, then probably.
Probably you. Great. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Glad I could help.
Yeah.
But so you know, if you don't mind us going into the little bit more serious territory for a little bit, like you talked about you know, your transition and some of the like the tension that's gone along with that. But I've got to say that it has been really awesome to watch you from 2021 when or 22 when you first came on to cast, even just to now that the fact that it's only been 3 years is insane to me. um because like you've never been a sheepish person, but your outward confidence has grown so drastically in those 3 years, and it's been awesome for me like watching that happen. But is what has been the most, I guess, like surprising thing to you that has happened through your transition?
Well, first off, that's a really kind thing to say. So thank you for that. Yeah, I definitely feel, yeah, my confidence was like here, and then it's like, oh, I'm starting to feel a thing, and then I'm actually taking the transition, so the confidence dips, and now I'm kind of, I'm back on the upswing, and I feel like I'm uh uh higher than I had been before. And I've already forgotten what the actual question was. Can you ask it one more time?
What has been the most like surprising thing to you that has come out of your transition, or like that has been a part of the process of your transition?
Sure. Um, I mean, I think, there's so many surprises that continue along the way, right? Like, the fact that even only my second year here, uh, I had people referring to me as like the trans elder of the cast, which is wild because I am so young. I've
Mhm.
got grays that are coming in up here, but like that's, I'm not even 30.
Mhm.
Um,
That's
so
just because you had to direct a show that this year.
yeah,
That's what happened.
yes, yes, no, 100%. Uh, and I I think I'm kind of I'm less surprised now, but there definitely have been moments in years past where there is just a genuine. You know what? No, I still do get a little bit surprised when, especially like on the streets during a fair day, when like a kid will call me a princess or a queen or something like that. Like that's like one of the highest stations you can give a woman of the time, being like, that's what this person is. Um, those are like small moments of surprise, but I would say, so that I don't forget it. I think one of the bigger moments of surprise, especially early on in transitioning, in getting hormone replacement therapy, I will also specify, was access to my emotions. Um, I was always, I always, I would tout myself as a pretty decent actor, and I would say that I have always been one. Um, but like I didn't really have access to the emotions that and I didn't realize that I didn't have access to those emotions to the extent that a human being can feel them. I didn't realize how dull my emotions had been from all of the suppressing of who I was. So once I got hormone replacement and the second puberty started hitting, which it was fast. Like that second puberty feeling, and part of it could have been placebo, but I've also heard it just happen to other trans women, and it could still be placebo that way. But it's like within the first 2 weeks, the emotions are on a whole different level. and part of that is definitely because it's like now I'm really not repressing who I am. But part of that is also like now I'm taking estrogen and my hormones are getting all out of balance and finding a new balance and all that stuff. But it's just like, oh, I feel far more deeply now. Um sorry, just got distracted. um I feel far more deeply in so many different ways. I cry easier, and that's a great thing. It's so good to cry and let those emotions out. Um, I I feel it's a lot easier to laugh and the weight off of the shoulder. Like honestly, I was so surprised at how dull my emotions had been, to the point of we were talking right before we started about how my first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy 15,
Mhm.
and I spent some time to do the work, and I watched the movie and the short YouTube anime miniseries before I actually started the game, so I like got all the background, and like even then I was already sobbing at moments. But then like I boot up the game and I'm like, okay, I know the scenario, I know what's happening, and then we pan to the kids pushing the car out of gas, and they're riffing off of each other and like, yeah, it's your turn to push, it's your turn to push, oh man, blah blah blah. And Florence and the Machine's cover of Stand By Me starts, and I'm an absolute mess. And it surprised me so
Mhm.
much. It was like, whoa, where did this emotion come from?
Mhm.
um yeah.
Oh yeah. So what is something that you wish more people understood about the process or the experience?
Sure. Well, first things first, I would wish that more people understood that this is, especially right now, one of the most challenging things anybody can do on a day-to-day basis. And that if I like if I could live and not do this, that's the easier choice. Um and that anybody is comfortable enough to say that they're trans, is comfortable enough to start transition, whether just socially with names and pronouns or hair or makeup, or they actually start hormone replacement therapy or name changes. Like any of that stuff is, even before all of the crap that we're having to deal with this year alone, was such an uphill battle, not just in the government side, but you get friends and family who deny your existence, who deny who you are. Like it is a struggle of identity to a degree that I don't think most people understand, because even when, and I'll say for myself, right? Like even when I decided that I was going to actually accept myself as being a trans woman, even then it's like I need other people to acknowledge and validate this, especially in those early years. I need people to be supportive of this, because this is something that I've hated about myself for 20 some odd years of my life. So much so to where it's like I I have blocked out memories. I gave myself amnesia, all sorts of terrible other things. All to deny this part of myself, and the amount of work it takes to go, no, this is who I am, even when you have people around you that say that you're disgusting and that you're perverted and that it's all just a kink and that you're a predator looking to invade on people's spaces, and to have all of that happening and still be like, yeah, but like I like living, so I'm gonna do this and be me. Um, it's a huge challenge, and it is a daily struggle that I don't know. I feel like I'm running circles here, but it's just like one of the most important things to me is to understand who a person is. And I think part of that is because I've spent so much of my life making a point to not understand who I am as a person. Um, and so even getting somebody's pronouns right shows that you see them as who they are and not a cherry-picked version of who they want you to be. They are doing something when somebody gives you their pronouns, even if they're cis, if they give you their pronouns, they're doing something incredibly brave because they are saying with full vulnerability, here is an aspect of who I am as a person. And I just think it's really important that people understand that that's what that is. It isn't just, hey, please treat me nice and call me the things that I want to be called. And on a sense, yeah, call the person what they want to be called, but don't do it because you're appeasing them. Do it because they are showing you who they are. And to deny that is to deny who they are in front of you and say, no, I want a version of you that suits me. Which it's like saying, hey, Jeff, I really like you, but stop with all your nerd shit. Like, I don't want to hear any of your nerd talk. Don't talk to me about any of the nerdy stuff.
Well, now you
That's
just
not
sound like
you. That's not
high
Jeff.
Dolphins.
Right? Like, it's denying a part of you and saying, hey, I need you to stop being who you are when you're around me. Yeah, long-winded, but that's what I want to say about that.
That's perfect. Thank you, Robin.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I am glad that you are who you are and that you have chosen to accept yourself and that you are here today as you.
Me too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Debbie has a question that I think would be really helpful for her if you're cool with entertaining it. But Debbie wants to know how she can help middle schoolers that are trans students whose parents are fighting against that idea. What
Oh,
can
well,
Debbie as a teacher do to help those students? If there's anything
yeah.
that comes to mind.
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert at playing the game of how do I do this thing when like a school board tells me not to kind of thing, and how to play that slyly. But I would, especially if their parents are against the idea, which is tough because one of my parents is also against the idea. um, uh, continue to like make space for them if you are able to, because we all have to like protect our own livelihoods as well. If you are able to consistently honor their pronouns and stand up for those moments, if you see them in the hallway or on the in the classroom, anytime like another student might um, pick on them for that or disagree with them for that, I would say those kind of small moments of kindness, offering your space whenever you can, to be like, hey, I'm here, talk to me. I'll, offering up a found family of a parenthood is immensely powerful to a trans kid whose parents are rejecting them. They need a role model then that will accept them for who they are. So if you can be that, then go for it. In any capacity that you feel comfortable doing so. whether that's, leaving your classroom open for lunch period, letting them come over. Just hosting spaces outside of school hours, if you can, by all means. Yeah, like I'd say, punch the parents in the face, but you can't, you can't get away with that. And so in certain school boards, I don't know PA, and I don't know its rule system. I know there are other schools in other states that force you to deny their pronouns. So if you can get away with not doing that, using their chosen name if they have one, helping them find a chosen name if they haven't found one, trying out different names in a classroom setting, I think could be really interesting if you've got a nice enough class. If your class is supportive enough, you could try that as something new every day. And you could think of it kind of like as role playing if you have a hard time transitioning that quickly for names and things like that. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah.
So to segue a bit,
Sure.
as coming out of this, but that's so valuable. Thank you so much, Robin. But when did you realize that everyone's pets love you more than they love their owners?
I'm gonna go with my first instinct. First moment was I guess first moment I had an inkling of it was I think it was my senior year of college. If not, it was my senior year of college, where I went over to one of my classmates' houses, and they had a cat that, of course, this was before I even realized I was trans. So I was still very mask presenting, if you can imagine it.
Oh, I scrolled through your Instagram to get inspiration for some questions. I can imagine.
Great. And there's this cat with like an extra thumb that apparently only ever liked women and like went straight up to me. Now that was very trans affirming in the retrospect, but like that was my first instinct of like inkling of like, I'm so good with pets. I think that that had to have been one of the first big moments where it was like, yeah.
And that cat outed you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. None of us realized it at the time. She literally went, wow, she never likes men. She only ever goes up to women. And I literally went, I'm just that good with cats at the time. And we all went, yeah, okay.
Robin going, yeah, I'm real good with the pussy.
Yay. And I am also that.
Yeah. Talk your shit.
Yeah. No, yeah, there've been lots of moments. It's almost exclusively moments of I will go to a person's house who has a pet, and they will do a thing, and that person will go, they've never done that quickly before to anybody. And I'm like, yeah, I'm real good at reading pets. I'm a pet whisperer.
Hell yeah. All right. I have one final question for you, Robin, because it is 8:00. But I want to ask you one more thing, and to kind of bring this back to that place that we all worked. What is one thing that you learned in your time at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair that you feel like you will take with you to other jobs, other contracts, other journeys in your life after that experience is done?
Oddly enough, it's the thing that my college professors tried really hard to hammer into me, which is just go for it. they, like, they were constantly telling me, like, "Hey, you've got great instincts. I know that there's more back there that you're not letting out, and just go for it." And I thought that I was doing that before, and then, like, just kind of what this place kind of pulled out of me, what you pulled out of me, Jeff, specifically, of just like, "Just go for it. Just do the thing. What's the worst that could happen?" Uh, a kid, the audience doesn't laugh. Well, shit, now I'm doing virtual improv where I can never hear their laughter ever. I just I just have to trust that I'm doing something good.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, the tackling something wholeheartedly, I think, is something that this place is has instilled in a sense, and building up endurance. Like, that's the other thing. Like, building up endurance to continue to tackle things wholeheartedly.
Hmm.
Um, Learning what it means to try something 100% is not burn yourself out doing that thing in the moment, but trying it to the highest percentage that you can while sustaining yourself for the rest of the day and the week. Um, that kind of self-care was not something that I ever would have learned had I not worked at a place where we have 2 13-hour shifts back to back in multi-layered clothes on hot, wet, cold, stormy days where we have to be out there and, find ways, novel ways to make a impact, however small, on as many people of the 10,000 that come in that day, as we can. Um,
Hmm.
really helps you also continue to strive with that, pushing forward and trying something wholeheartedly, especially in a scenario like this, because it's just like, hey, I'm gonna go up to this group of 10 people and I'm gonna try this bit, and it bombs and it doesn't work. I can turn around and there's 10 more people, and the 10 people behind me won't pay attention to me. They can't hear me because there's too much else going on, and I can try it again. Completely new take, completely new record, every step that you can take.
Hmm.
Um, and that kind of freedom, I think I really wanna make sure that I take with me no matter what I do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Robin, thank you so much for giving us your time and your energy and being really vulnerable with us tonight. This was a fantastic interview. I hope you had fun.
Oh, yeah, I had a great time. And, vulnerable, but I tried not to keep everything too low. If you wanna do a part 2 where things get real dark, we can.
Look, if y'all are interested in that, let us know and let Robin know. I am sure Robin, I don't want to speak for you, but if people want to talk to you more about these things, would it be okay for them to reach out to
Oh,
you?
yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing, I'd never want it to come off as conceited,
Mhm.
or narcissistic, but I really enjoy telling my stories, because that's a way that I connect with people, and um, I feel like it's also one of the. It's easier, like, to be like, in moments of, like, advice and things like that. I wish I could give a personal story about middle school, but I didn't come out till after college. Um, to be like, here's a personal story that I had a similar situation, and here's somewhat how I handled it, can always give a new perspective. I love giving perspective. And so, yeah, if you guys have any questions, whether that's just about transitioning in general, you're welcome to come to it. If you want to ask the darker questions, you come right over. We can get into it. Um, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Everyone is super grateful. Beck would love to hear more. Aaron is very grateful. I think your brother was lurking the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, he was. I love you, Cole. Oh, I do want to shout out, Aaron. Your daughter was incredible. That one specific night last year, the last night of the season, um, she came in and she saved the day from an extremely tense situation. And I don't know if that was something that Dan said, hey, this is the perfect time, go run to her. But Lil Evelyn ran to me at perfect timing that just kind of like really helped me out of a really bad spot. So I haven't had the chance to thank her in that capacity because we've always been at work and or the gates are about to open and I have to like get into character. But really, really send her thanks my way, and both of your thanks for raising such an amazing kid.
What a freaking good kid.
I know.
Really good parents. Thanks for being good parents, gang.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching this show. If you feel so inclined, the Venmo is open at the IT crowd. That gets split evenly between Robin and me tonight. So we'd be super grateful.
Yeah.
Robin, any parting words for the audience?
Oh, I mean, cliche, be you. However weird that is, embrace that because there's somebody else out there that's going to also embrace it. And it's better to be your whole self than a part of yourself.
Yeah. The IT Crowd.